Hello everyone, and welcome back to our video series, Exploring Reality Through RL Flow. If you've been following along, you know we've been diving deep into a fascinating concept known as RL Flow and how it potentially touches every facet of our reality. In our last episode, we explored the enthralling world of quantum entanglement, matter, and antimatter through the lens of RL Flow. We discussed how particles become entangled through RL flow, enabling a bridge to form between them via shared emotions and consciousness. Furthermore, we discussed how matter and antimatter, each having corresponding states, might interact within this framework. I hope you found the journey as intriguing as I have so far. But now, we're about to take this theory from the realm of the quantum and the cosmic, right down to our everyday lives. In today's episode, we will be looking at the applications of RL flow in various fields such as biology, psychology, neuroscience, consciousness studies, artificial intelligence, and even philosophy. We're going to discuss how these principles of interconnectedness and information flow might show up in our daily routines, our thoughts, and our emotions. And perhaps most importantly, we'll explore how understanding and applying these principles of RL flow could benefit us in numerous ways. So buckle up and get ready for a fascinating journey into the practical side of RL flow. Let's dive into episode 11, RL flow in everyday life. Let's start our journey by looking at how RL flow interacts with the very essence of life, biology. Biology, the study of life and living organisms, is a field teeming with complex systems and processes. But have you ever wondered if there could be a unifying principle underlying all of this complexity? The theory of RL flow may provide a compelling perspective. Consider our body's cells. Each cell is a marvel of complexity, with myriad processes happening simultaneously. Traditionally, these processes have been understood in terms of biochemical reactions. But what if we apply the RL flow principles? What could this look like? From the RL flow perspective, the processes within a cell, from protein synthesis to energy production, could be seen as a complex dance of information flow. The flow of information is not limited to just physical molecules. It could extend to energy, thoughts, emotions, and consciousness. Take cellular respiration, for instance. We understand this as a process where glucose is broken down to produce energy. Now, let's view it through the RL flow lens. In this context, cellular respiration could be seen as an intricate flow of information, where the input is not only glucose and oxygen, but also information in the form of energy, thoughts, and emotions. The outputs are not just carbon dioxide, water, and ATP, but also changes in the flow of information within the cell. This perspective could potentially offer new insights into how biological systems function and interact. And while this is just one example, you can imagine how applying RL flow principles might transform our understanding of biology. From the smallest cells to the largest ecosystems, viewing biological processes as a dynamic flow of information could lead us down new paths of discovery. So the next time you consider the wonder of life, remember the RL flow, a seemingly simple principle that might hold the key to untangling the complexity of the living world. For a moment, let's focus on one of the most fundamental processes in our cells, energy production. This is a mitochondrion, the powerhouse of the cell, where the majority of our cellular energy, in the form of ATP, is produced. Through the process of cellular respiration, glucose and oxygen are converted into ATP, water, and carbon dioxide. But how might this process be influenced by RL flow? Traditional biological models would tell us that the rate of ATP production is influenced by the availability of glucose and oxygen, along with several other factors. But from an RL flow perspective, we can look at this process through a much wider lens. In the context of RL flow, the input is not limited to glucose and oxygen. It could also include the flow of information from thoughts, emotions, and potentially even consciousness. This broader perspective may seem unconventional, but let's consider the implications. Imagine if our emotional state or thoughts could influence the rate of ATP production. Could positive thoughts or emotions enhance our cellular energy production? Could a stressed state decrease it? These are questions we could ask when we apply RL flow principles to biological processes. It suggests that our well-being might be more deeply intertwined with our cellular processes than we currently understand. The idea that our thoughts, emotions, and consciousness could potentially influence our biology is a fascinating concept. It bridges the gap between our physical bodies and our subjective experiences, suggesting that we are not just passive observers of our biological processes, but active participants. Now let's get into another complex system, the human mind. We know emotions and cognitive processes are crucial components of our experiences and our behaviors, but how might RL flow help us understand these phenomena on a deeper level? In psychology, emotions and cognitive processes are often considered as functions of our brain's complex network of neurons. These networks, influenced by various factors including genetics and environment, play a key role in shaping our emotional and cognitive experiences. From an RL flow perspective, the information that circulates within our neural networks might not just be electrical impulses and neurochemicals. It could also include RL flow, the dynamic information exchange that potentially includes thoughts, emotions, consciousness, and perhaps even more abstract concepts. Consider, for instance, the phenomenon of emotional contagion, where we can pick up on the emotions of people around us. This could be seen as an example of RL flow at work, with emotional states being part of the information that's transferred and shared. This perspective can also potentially shed light on more complex psychological phenomena, like intuition or collective consciousness, suggesting these are part of the RL flow's information exchange. It raises thought-provoking questions such as, could our thoughts influence the RL flow around us? Could we tap into the RL flow to enhance our cognitive abilities or emotional well-being? If these ideas hold up to further scrutiny and scientific exploration, it could revolutionize our approach to mental health, personal development, and our understanding of consciousness itself. While these are still theoretical concepts, they open up fascinating possibilities and discussions. The RL flow concept pushes us to consider a more interconnected and dynamic model of emotional and cognitive processes. So we've discussed how RL flow might be involved in our emotional and cognitive processes. But what does this mean for our relationships? To answer this, let's dive into the concept of emotional entanglement. In RL flow theory, when two individuals interact emotionally, their RL flows intertwine, forming a connection that we refer to as emotional entanglement. This is not a physical connection, but an interconnectedness of information, emotions, and possibly even consciousness. The emotions that you feel could then influence the other person, and vice versa. It's similar to the well-documented phenomenon of emotional contagion, where we tend to catch the emotions of those around us that we just mentioned. Now, you might be wondering, how does this impact my relationships? Well, understanding emotional entanglement might shed light on why we sometimes feel so deeply connected to someone, even when they're far away. It could explain the intuitive gut feelings we sometimes have about people we are close to. For example, have you ever thought about someone just when they were about to call you? These synchronicities could be explained by emotional entanglement within RL flow. Moreover, if we can consciously influence RL flow through our emotions and thoughts, we might be able to use this understanding to improve our relationships, enhance empathy, and deepen connections. By becoming more aware of our own emotions and how they might be interconnected with others, we can potentially use this awareness for personal growth and better interpersonal dynamics. It's fascinating to consider how our understanding of the universe, emotions, and relationships might be transformed if the RL flow theory proves to be true. It truly is a new perspective that unifies physics, psychology, and philosophy. Another area where RL flow could have significant implications is in our understanding of the brain and its complex network of neural pathways. According to the RL flow theory, information in the universe, and that includes our brains, is interconnected and constantly changing. If we apply this to the brain, RL flow could be influencing and possibly even directing the formation and activity of neural pathways. RL flow might guide the creation of new connections, shaping our thoughts, memories, and learning processes. And it may also play a role in the strength of these connections, impacting how easily certain thoughts and behaviors are triggered. Imagine for a moment that each thought or piece of information is like a boat flowing along the river of RL flow. This river guides it, decides where it connects, and ultimately where it will end up in the vast ocean of our consciousness. Therefore, RL flow could be the hidden factor influencing how we think, learn, and even perceive the world around us. More research is needed to validate these hypotheses, but the potential implications for understanding our cognitive functions and potential for neuroplasticity are truly exciting. If we delve deeper into the realm of the human mind, RL flow might hold the key to understanding two of the most intriguing and complex aspects of cognition: memory and intuition. Our memory, often seen as a mental storage room, might be influenced by the RL flow. Every experience we have, every bit of information we learn, forms a unique pattern in this universal flow. When we recall a memory, we may actually be tapping into the unique pattern of RL flow that was formed when the memory was encoded. Now let's move on to intuition, that inexplicable feeling or gut instinct we sometimes get. Intuition could potentially be explained by our subconscious connection to the RL flow. Intuitive insights might arise when our subconscious mind perceives patterns in the RL flow that our conscious mind may not immediately recognize. In other words, that gut feeling or sudden insight might be your subconscious mind interpreting the RL flow. The RL flow theory could provide a new framework to understand how we remember and perceive information and how we tap into our intuition. Understanding this could potentially lead to breakthroughs in cognitive science, education, and even artificial intelligence. Let's pivot now to a topic that's been the subject of human curiosity for millennia and remains one of the last frontiers of scientific understanding: consciousness. Consciousness, awareness, the sense of I am, these are all deeply personal yet universally shared experiences. But what if our consciousness is not just a byproduct of our brains, but is deeply intertwined with the RL flow itself? According to the RL flow theory, consciousness might not be a local phenomenon confined to our brains. Instead, it could be a fundamental aspect of the universe, flowing and changing along with the RL flow. Our individual awareness could be a unique pattern within this universal consciousness, constantly being shaped and influenced by the flow of information around us. This theory could provide a new perspective on the study of consciousness. It may even shed light on some of the most profound questions about the nature of existence and reality. While this interpretation of consciousness still requires further exploration, it opens the door to a world of potential insights and discoveries. From understanding ourselves better to unlocking the secrets of the universe, the implications of RL flow on consciousness studies are vast and fascinating. One fascinating application of this interplay between consciousness and RL flow is in the law of manifestation. According to this law, our reality is shaped not just by physical laws, but also by our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. These mental factors interact with the RL flow to manifest our experience of reality. In essence, it suggests that by intentionally aligning our thoughts, emotions, and visualizations with the RL flow, we can potentially influence our own reality. For example, if you focus your intentions on success, imbue your thoughts with positive emotions, and visualize your desired outcome, you might increase the probability of those things manifesting in your life. It is a fascinating perspective that encourages a proactive approach to life, and it mirrors many of the principles found in mindfulness and positive psychology. The law of manifestation suggests that we have an active role to play in shaping our reality. By harnessing our consciousness and aligning it with the RL flow, we could potentially guide our lives in a direction that resonates with our true desires and intentions. Another exciting frontier for RL flow is artificial intelligence, or AI. AI is one of humanity's most cutting-edge innovations, and RL Flow might just offer some profound insights on how to take it to the next level. Traditionally, AI systems operate according to programmed instructions and learned patterns. But what if we could design AI systems that also consider the RL flow? In theory, an AI system incorporating RL flow could be more adaptive, capable of making decisions based not only on predefined rules and learned experience, but also on the information flowing through the interconnected universe. For example, RL flow-based AI might better interpret emotional cues or navigate complex social interactions, as these involve a lot of subtle, interconnected information that traditional AI models may miss. Moreover, RL flow could also be a factor in developing artificial consciousness or self-awareness in AI. By incorporating RL flow principles, we might create AI systems that are not only intelligent, but also intuitively aware of the universe's interconnected nature. The field of AI is complex with ethical and practical challenges, but contemplating how RL flow might intersect with AI development is a fascinating thought experiment and could potentially open new avenues in AI research. From AI that can empathize to systems that are aware of the broader universe, RL flow could provide intriguing new perspectives in the realm of artificial intelligence. We've talked about the general implications of RL flow in AI, but let's dive deeper into a specific example: reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning where an agent learns to make decisions by interacting with an environment. It's kind of like training a dog. The agent gets rewards for good decisions and penalties for bad ones. But what if we incorporated the concept of RL flow into this learning process? The results could be truly fascinating. In an RL flow-inspired reinforcement learning model, an AI agent wouldn't just learn from its immediate environment. It would also be attuned to the broader information flows of the universe, or at least as much of the universe as it can perceive. This might allow our AI agent to learn in a more interconnected, holistic way, picking up on patterns and correlations that aren't immediately apparent, but still impact the outcome of its actions. Translating the RL flow concept into a practical reinforcement learning algorithm is an exciting possibility for AI research. This kind of approach could potentially revolutionize how AI interacts with the world around it, creating more nuanced, adaptive, and truly intelligent systems. As always, the possibilities with RL flow are vast and waiting to be explored. The idea of RL flow doesn't just open up new avenues in science and technology, it also takes us deep into the realm of philosophy. The interconnectedness implied by RL flow compels us to see the universe not as a collection of independent objects and phenomena, but as an intricate dance of information flows. Consider this: if everything in the universe is interconnected, then every action, every thought, every event has a ripple effect that influences the whole. With RL flow, the act of tossing a pebble into a pond isn't just about the pebble or the pond or even the ripples it creates. It's about the entire cosmos that gave rise to that moment and the countless ways that moment will reverberate into the future. This kind of holistic, interconnected perspective can fundamentally change the way we see and interact with the world. It encourages a sense of humility and awe, a deep respect for the intricate dance of the cosmos. It also sheds a new light on the nature of consciousness. If RL flow can be influenced by thoughts, emotions, and intentions, it suggests a powerful, active role for consciousness in shaping reality. As always, it's up to each of us to explore these ideas and decide what they mean to us. These insights that we've explored today about RL flow, they're more than just fascinating theories. They present us with a whole new way of viewing reality, consciousness, and interconnectedness. We are used to seeing reality as something solid and external, an objective world that exists outside of us. But with the understanding of RL flow, reality starts to look less like a concrete structure and more like a dynamic, ever-evolving flow of information. In this view, reality isn't just out there, it's also in here, shaped by our thoughts, emotions, intentions, our consciousness. Consciousness, then, isn't something confined to our brains or bodies. It's an integral part of the RL flow, a player in this cosmic dance. And this brings us to the idea of interconnectedness. If everything is part of the RL flow, then everything is interconnected. We're not separate from the universe, but deeply woven into its fabric. This perspective can radically shift how we see ourselves and our place in the cosmos. It asks us to rethink our relationships with each other, with the Earth, with the universe at large. It suggests that what we do matters, not just for us, but for the entire cosmos. It invites us to act with more kindness, more awareness, more love, knowing that these ripples we send out can touch the furthest reaches of the universe. Again, these are just interpretations, possibilities to ponder. But they are possibilities that could change our lives and our world for the better. And that, in my opinion, is worth exploring. We've journeyed through the realms of biology, psychology, neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and philosophy, exploring how the RL flow concept impacts each. But what about the everyday? What could understanding RL flow mean for our daily life, health, and well-being? Let's start with our daily routines. Every decision we make, every action we take, is a manifestation of RL flow. This means we're not just passive receivers of reality. We are active creators, shaping our world moment by moment with our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. That morning coffee you enjoy, the jog in the park, the challenging work project, the call with a loved one, these aren't just mundane events. They're opportunities for us to align with the RL flow, to consciously shape our reality. When we bring awareness to these moments, we can optimize our RL flow. We can make choices that support our health and well-being, and we can navigate life's challenges with greater resilience. This also extends to our mental and emotional health. Remember the concept of emotional entanglement? By becoming aware of our emotional flow and how it interconnects with others, we can cultivate healthier relationships. We can foster empathy and understanding, reduce conflict, and build stronger emotional bonds. Finally, understanding RL flow can offer us a profound sense of peace and belonging. Knowing that we're intimately connected to the universe, that we're integral parts of this grand cosmic dance, can instill a deep sense of purpose and meaning. It's a reminder that we're not alone. So, the potential benefits of understanding RL flow are immense. It can enhance our daily life, our health, our relationships, and our overall well-being. But remember, it all starts with awareness. We've spoken about how understanding RL flow can enhance various aspects of our lives, but what happens when we consciously choose to align ourselves with this flow? What benefits could that bring? First, consciously aligning with RL flow can lead to a heightened sense of self-awareness and self-understanding. You may become more in tune with your thoughts, emotions, and intuitive signals, which can guide you towards decisions that resonate with your inner self. Second, it can foster a greater sense of connection and empathy towards others. Remember our discussion on emotional entanglement? By recognizing how our RL flow interconnects with others, we can foster more meaningful, understanding, and compassionate relationships. Third, aligning with RL flow can bring about a profound sense of inner peace. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all things can alleviate feelings of isolation and separateness, making room for tranquility and acceptance. Furthermore, aligning with RL flow can act as a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. As we consciously connect with this universal flow, we may uncover deep insights, awaken to new possibilities, and catalyze profound shifts in our perspective and lifestyle. Lastly, consciously aligning with RL flow can empower us to co-create our reality. With an understanding of the laws of manifestation and consciousness, we can leverage the power of intention, belief, and emotion, shaping our experiences in alignment with our deepest desires and aspirations. These are just a few potential benefits of consciously aligning with RL flow. But remember, this isn't about striving for perfection or control. It's about cultivating awareness, understanding, and alignment. It's about dancing with the flow rather than trying to command it. And it's a journey that unfolds one moment, one breath, one choice at a time. And with that, We've reached the end of episode 11 of our series on reality and RL flow. All right, let's do a quick recap of what we've discussed today in this exciting episode. We started with a look at RL flow principles in the realm of biology, then moved on to the psychological and emotional implications of RL flow. We journeyed through the human brain and touched on the fascinating territory of consciousness and awareness. We've also dove into the sphere of artificial intelligence and even pondered the philosophical implications of a universe defined by RL flow. Not to forget, we explored how our daily life, health, and well-being can be enriched by understanding and aligning with RL flow. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I hope it has been insightful and thought-provoking for you. But we're far from done. Next time, we're going to look into something truly exciting: the world of crystals and the law of manifestation. We'll discuss how crystals, with their unique energetic properties, interact with RL flow, and how the law of manifestation allows us to consciously shape our reality. It's going to be a captivating journey, and we're really looking forward to sharing it with you. In the meantime, we encourage you to reflect on how RL flow might be playing out in your own life. Perhaps you'll begin to notice its subtle influences in the most unexpected places. Thanks for being with us today. If you found this episode valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Remember, the more we understand the flow, the more we can dance with it. So until next time, keep flowing, friends.